Hello everyone and welcome back to Source Studios, and I'm doing a video on the 7 reasons why LEGO goes up in price in case you hold or sell series on my channel, where I go through the upcoming retiring LEGO Star Wars sets. I tell you which ones you should buy, hold, or wait to sell them, like sealed in the box. How do I go about deciding which ones to sell, which ones to buy or hold? Specifically, this is about selling because we want to make a profit, right? And so, specifically, if we want to think about profit, if you're trying to think about, should I get this LEGO set? Is this going to make me good money down the road? This is what you should look out for. Here we go. 7 reasons why LEGO goes up in price. Number 1 is the most obvious, but I thought that I would mention it anyway, is the condition of the set that you have. If it's new and sealed, and this is not just like, oh, I haven't opened any of the bags, like the tape is still on the box, or the box's thumb tabs have not been pressed in. If the box has been untouched, perfect. Even if it's water damage, even if there's a dent in the box, that will lower the price. It might only be by a couple bucks, but it will still lower the price. So pristine condition. You also have first time built, like I only built this once, then never played with it, put it in like a glass shelf. That's pretty good condition. That's technically used, but it is worth mentioning that it was built once and never played with or never used. Then, they come out of a house that has smoking or pet fur, or how much exposure to daylight did it get? Does it have wear and tear? Is there dust? Do you have the instruction manual still? Although the instruction manual doesn't matter so much anymore, since LEGO has all their instruction manuals as PDFs online. That used to make a bigger difference back then. But for me personally, I like to build LEGO sets with the physical instruction manual copy. So I don't know. That would make a big difference to me, and not so much for other people. Then you have the minifigs. Does it come with all the minifigs? Are you just selling the set? Is it missing any pieces? Is it 100% complete, 99% complete? I could go on. All of those factors have to deal with how much money can I sell the set in the future. If anything that I just listed happens to the set, it could devalue it by a little or quite a lot, depending on what happens. So just want to get number 1 out of the way, condition of the set. That is a clear and obvious one. The second one is popularity. And you would expect if a set is super popular during its time, like its retail time, it will be worth a lot later on. Not so, actually. If a set is super popular during its time where it's being sold at retail, that means a lot of people are going to get it. That means a higher demand, that means a higher production, that means a higher quantity of them out there, a higher quantity made, which means that if you wanted to buy it down the line, there would be a high demand because it's popular, but there'd be high quantity anyway. The sets actually that rocket in price are the sets that are low popularity during its time of retail. Because a lot of the time people will be like, oh, actually that was a really cool set, why didn't I get that? And they'll have like, it's sort of like the reverse of buyer's remorse. It's like, oh, I didn't get this remorse. And then they'll go to get it, it's retired, and it's like, oh crap, like that wasn't very popular, not a lot of people got it, so it's going to cost a lot of money to get sealed in the box. Some sets I can think of, for example, is the Master Builder Series Cloud City set. Not a lot of people were like, oh, I really want to get this Cloud City set. I even remember it going on sale in the LEGO store. That's when you know a LEGO set's going to be worth a lot later down the road. If it goes on clearance at the LEGO store, that doesn't apply to everything. It does apply to a lot of things. I mean, this Ninjago City Dock set, that went on clearance in the LEGO store. And now that's really popular. Because if you don't have a lot of people wanting to buy it, this will usually do a chain reaction with LEGO. It's like, okay, well, we just won't produce as much because not as many people are buying it. If we produce less, there will be less of them out there, which means the value of them will be more once LEGO stops production. So Cloud City was an example. Ninjago City Docks is an example. I'm trying to think of, the Republic dropship in ATOG Walker right up there is an example, because, and I'll get to why sets, one of the reasons why sets could not be popular. One of the reasons could be it's just not clicking at the time. Like when LEGO made the Cloud City Master Builder series, like Empire Strikes Back wasn't really, I mean, it wasn't like an anniversary. There wasn't really anything special happening. Like there was no reason for people to be excited for a Cloud City set, so bad timing is an example. One of them is the set is overpriced. That's number 3. The third reason why sets go up in price is that they're overpriced to begin with. And if they're overpriced to begin with, that means less people will want to buy it. For example, the Republic dropship ATOT Walker, I believe retailed for $250. It only had 1,758 pieces. I mean, if you were going for 10 cents per piece, you'd think, oh, that's a ripoff. Obviously, amazing set, totally worth it. Another set that rocketed in price that I happen to have on my box wall here is the Coruscant Police Gunship. Came with 481 pieces. I don't remember how expensive this set was, but I do remember telling myself, like, this seemed overpriced. And I think it might not have been the pieces. I think after watching reviews, I saw how like small it was, and after we just got a 2013 playable gunship, and that was like nice and big. I do admit, this is not the biggest set. It does feel small in your hands, and it's hard to feel like you got your money's worth. Now, of course, I foolishly bought this sealed in the box like 10 years later. I don't know what, we don't need to talk about that. That's in the past. If a set is overpriced, it's going to be bought less, which means it's going to be worth more. It's kind of ironic. Like, oh, I would never pay that much money for that set now. And then later down the road, it like jumps $100, and then you find it for like $10 less on average of what it'd be sealed new in the box. You're like, oh, that's such a steal, and you buy it. It's like, what is happening? Like, if you were to find this set for $500 sealed in the box, you'd get it instantly. Because on average, it goes for like $1,000 or more sealed in the box. But at the time when it was on sale for $250, it was like, oh, who cares? So it's funny how stuff works out that way. So if stuff is overpriced, I guess the lesson here is just buy it. Because if you want it later, it'll be even more overpriced. So there you go. Early retirement is number 4. So if a set retires early, which could be a cause of popularity or unpopularity, more or less, based on overpriced. But if LEGO decides to retire a set earlier than expected, people will be like, oh, I was planning on getting this, but now it's gone. Crap. So now there's a higher demand for it after it retires, after LEGO has stopped producing it. And so that could be something. There is something to say that not every set goes up in price if it's unpopular and overpriced. The BB-8 buildable droid, that went on clearance at Walmart for $40. It still really hasn't gone up in price. Like, if you were wanting to buy it sealed, it's not like it's doubled. It hasn't really skyrocketed. And that's because it just still hasn't remained popular. But I feel like there are some sets where you know if it's unpopular and if it's just going to stay unpopular, like the First Order ATST Walker. Like, that set's never going to be popular. And you kind of just know that. The buildable figs, like BB-8, those are for a specific group of people. I mean, if you love BB-8, sure, you might want to get it. But, like, it's just a buildable figure, and, you know, certain people collect those. It's not like everyone collects those. So there are some factors to take into consideration. Not every unpopular set will be overpriced later on, so you have to be wise with your investments as well of what you buy. Number 5 is availability. For example, the San Diego Comic-Con Nebulon V Frigate, which was limited and didn't have a lot of. Same with the Bespin Duel, except they re-released that for a second wave of selling, thank goodness. But yeah, we do availability. You know, San Diego Comic-Cons or LEGO employee Christmas sets, like the Star Wars Christmas X-Wing that came out, and promos and gifts with purchase, all that stuff. Those are going to have obviously a factor, especially if it's like a gift promo or gift with purchase, where it's like, if you buy the UCS Millennium Falcon, you'll get this. And yeah, there's that. Availability, like if they sell it at Comic-Con, you have to be at the Comic-Con, obviously, to get it. So that's also it. And that kind of falls in line with number 6, which is one of a kind. If Lego makes the fewer products that Lego makes of a product, the more it's going to be, and that's just common sense with anything. You have the 1 of 10,000 chrome gold Lego C-3POs. You have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive number 1 B frigates. Only a certain number of those were made. It's really any set, and this kind of goes for just anything. And it's also important to mention that if someone makes like a gunship, and then Lego makes another gunship 5 years later, inadvertently that gunship's price is going to go down. Which is another reason why the Republic dropship and AT-OT Walker is so high in price, because Lego's never made another AT-OT Walker or a dropship. And let's be real, you're getting the set for the dropship mainly. So if Lego were to make another dropship, this price would probably go down a couple $100, because now people no longer have to buy this set to get a dropship. They can just get a set now. So it's also important to note, if a set isn't doing well, but you're like, Lego's probably going to make this like a couple years down the line, it's probably not going to sell well. Unless you have some maniac trying to collect every Star Wars set or every set of that vehicle, then sure, but that's rare, and it's not going to be enough to get the price up. Luke's land speeders, good luck trying to keep one of those sealed and sell it 5 years or 10 years later for an upped price. It's just not going to happen. You do have the vintage aspect though, like, this was like the first gunship or the first Star Destroyer or the first TIE Fighter, and that sort of has there's the nostalgia factor, and I think that fits underneath one of a kind. If a set is nostalgic, that helps. And sometimes you just have the greats. You just have the great sets that shout authentic Star Wars Lego. Like you have the original X-Wing, which looks like crap, but it's the original X-Wing. So it just has that nostalgia. I don't know, it's the Lego system sets. It's just back in 1999, 2000s. It's just, oh my gosh, the OG clone turbo tank with the light up Mace Windu, that's just so iconic. Lego has made technically 3 other clone turbo tanks after that, if you're not counting microfighters. They made the one with the non-light up Mace Windu, the Clone Wars version, and then the dumb Episode 3 version that's super undersized and overpriced. But now that's up in price because it was overpriced and it was small and dinky and didn't compare to the other ones. It didn't do well, but now everyone's like, oh, that was actually kind of a cool clone turbo tank, or oh, I kind of want all the clone turbo tanks. And so they're, I missed out. So all of that considered, one of a kind, nostalgia, all those feelings that go along with it, that's very important to note when trying to pick a set to sell down the line. And the final one is Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm has a huge say in everything because of its relevance. If Lucasfilm comes out with something that is, let's say, for example, the Naboo Starfighter was just shown up again in the Book of Boba Fett. There you go. The N1 Starfighter is going to go up in price a little bit. Now, of course, Lego's making a specific Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, but the fact that that ship showed up is going to increase the price a little bit for the rest of the N1 Starfighters, because now it's returned, it's became relevant again. If Lucasfilm makes a movie or a TV show sort of like showcasing some older vehicle or older ship or something that Lego has made and hasn't made in a while, it's going to revitalize the want for that set, and it's going to up those sets in price because the demand is going to rise. So it's all about, this is the word I was trying to think of earlier, supply and demand. We talk about that a lot on this channel, but if the supply is low and the demand is high, honestly, I could probably have just summed up this entire video with that. Low supply of a set, high demand for that set. Price is going to go up. But I felt like these 7 points were a little bit more specific and easier to follow and to, I guess, attribute to Lego than just low supply, high demand. But anyway, this is the 7 reasons why Lego goes up in price. So if you're looking to buy sets, keep them sealed as an investment, sell them down the road, these are the things I would look out for. These are the things I look out for when I'm trying to post the buy, hold, or sell videos to help you all figure out what sets you should buy when they retire, before they retire, so that you could sell later. Like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell icon. Join the Discord server. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you all